Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about the church, music, movies, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Tamika,
Hey neighbors.
and this is Big Dre.
What up, neighbors? Dr. T, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dre. Good to
Cliff
see you, Cliff.
Cliff the EP, what up, baby?
What's up, man?
See the EP. There we go. I'm gonna get this nickname. We're gonna get to see
Okay.
the EP.
Cliff isn't feeling it.
That's all right.
Every time he just hates
Cliff
on my fun.
is a nickname. That should be his name. Cliff is a nickname.
It's like it's weak sauce. We're gonna work on it.
What's up to all the neighbors out there? I want to thank y'all for hanging with us, whether you're watching live or watching on demand. We appreciate you for spending some time with us on tonight. The start, the second day of Black History Month. We appreciate y'all. So neighbors, do me a favor right now and please share, hit like, do something. Come on, share, like something. Come on, help us out.
Let me ask you this.
Right.
Is that grammatically correct on tonight or on today? Okay.
Probably not.
All right.
No.
I just wondered for years.
We just added in extra stuff that doesn't have to be there.
But most stuff in the Black church is not grammatically correct.
That's true.
And there you have it, folks.
The man of God.
That's
the man of God. That
Yes.
extra D, I've never, and you spell that MAN''D, man of God.
Yes, we add syllables, we add letters and syllables to all kinds of stuff. Church of God in Christ has a convention called AIM, Auxiliaries in Ministry, right? AIM.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
When I moved to Indianapolis, those people swore up and down it was called the AIMS Ministry, AIMS, and that's what they would say. Y'all going to the AIMS convention?
Did you ask him what the S was?
Oh! Somebody asked the pastor what it was, and he's like Auxiliaries in Ministry Services.
I knew it was that. I knew that.
He said
just
it with
all kind of extra.
I love Pastor Davis. He said it with all the conviction in the world too. Like he was right.
Can I just say that I am thoroughly confused by the word. I'm not confused, but I was at first when I came to my current church, which is a lot of the neighbors' church, auxiliary. I didn't come from a church that used that language. So I was like, auxiliary, but we also use ministry.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the truly anointed are the ministries. The auxiliaries are, just here.
I was about to say, like, there's levels to this, and we should
There are levels.
Boy, the auxiliaries, boy. Don't.
Oh, so you have to. Do you have to be anointed? You have to be anointed to be in a ministry, but not necessarily to be any old soul can sign up for an auxiliary.
Y'all
You may not.
Or
Y'all
they'll
out
like
here.
make an auxiliary. Some churches
Mm-hmm.
Y'all out here starting to
will
fight.
make an auxiliary out of just about anything.
Yeah.
It's true.
It doesn't even really have to be like a thing. You can have an auxiliary of left-handed praise dancers. Like that could be an auxiliary. And it's like, what? Why is this an auxiliary? Or you could have an auxiliary of praise dancers and then an auxiliary of worship, bodily worship. And like, auxiliaries tend to be redundant.
Yes.
At some churches. I don't know.
These are just thoughts. These are just thoughts.
Perhaps.
Does the flower club belong to certain denominations? Like my grandmother belonged to the flower club, rest her soul, amen. But is flower club across all denominations, or is that specific
The
denomination?
church I grew up, we called it the Hospitality Club, and so that was kind of like the catch-all for the people who did the decorations.
Oh, okay. No, these sisters were specifically dedicated to the flowers.
Yeah, the hospitality ministry was all decorations, not just flowers. At least when I grew up, flowers, banners, they did it all.
Right.
And they also had to make sure the flowers were in place for funerals as well.
Yeah.
Because it was a whole thing. It was a real thing.
And the thing is, these people was putting up banners before Kinko's was was the thing.
Yes.
I don't know where these ladies was getting banned.
Where were they getting
They,
them from?
I mean, they calligraphy. They were smooth with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they used to be hand painted,
Yep.
handcrafted banners. I remember these.
And let's talk about this. These were high quality productions because them suckers had to be up the whole year. Like if it was a theme for that year, that bad boy had to be up for the whole year. These were quality productions.
Yeah.
I remember. Okay.
Yeah. I just have to pause for one moment and say the majority of what we're talking about was facilitated or led by Black women.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Like Black women, basically. What would the church be without Black women?
It would be a mess.
There wouldn't be any flowers.
Yep.
There may or may not be pews.
True.
You might be in a storefront. You might be outside. You might be, but likely not in a fancy building.
No, there's no denying that.
Yeah. Everybody knows like the man gets a lot of the credit because the man in a lot of cases is the pastor or the minister of music, the musicians, everything. But the women are the backbone of the Black church. Like
and that's why it gets real funny and suspicious when all of a sudden women are not allowed in the pulpit for some reason.
Well,
that's the whole. We should do a show on that.
We speak on it.
We should do a show on that if people wouldn't get in their feelings.
Brother, too many people getting their feelings.
Because there's scripture.
Some people are very.
You can point to scripture to back up why people on the women.
Cliff, let's not do this today.
Let's
keep it lighthearted.
So that's why people are in their feelings.
Yes, because
in this neighborhood.
They will say this is scripturally based.
I don't know about our neighbors, but in general.
Yeah.
In general, this is a crisis. I was like, really? I was listening to NPR like a few months ago, and they were talking about this. They had ministers. They were all white on there talking. Well, I'm assuming I raced them as white. And I was like, this is still a debate. This is still a thing. And I actually got Chris Gets Christianity Today. And in a recent issue, they were debating women's place in the church. This is an ongoing debate. I was like, who's still debating this?
I don't get it. Yeah.
I'm willing to do it. I say we could find somebody on both sides and have healthy discussion.
That would be interesting.
So we could find somebody.
Do you think anybody would be willing to come on here and be on the other side?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
On the other side, just saying that women don't belong in the pulpit?
Back when Lexi had that show on the Word Network?
Right.
That was one of the topics on one of the shows. She had a woman preacher show.
I don't think
we can specifically find someone.
There was a man saying, "This is why women should not." It won't be hard. Trust me.
Okay, brother. Well, hey,
you're just like, will they come on this show?
I don't know anybody.
Come on here.
I don't know anybody in particular, but
there should be no one who has ever seen the show before.
I'm sure we know somebody who knows somebody that could probably be like, Minister so and so, Reverend so and so will come on.
We all have a cousin who thinks these things.
I bet you one of us is gonna catch something in our DMs or our text saying, "I'll talk."
Yeah. So neighbors, hit us up in the Turn to Your Neighbor.
If that's you,
here's up.
If you dabble in a little sexism every now and again.
I knew she was gonna say something. I knew she couldn't let it ride.
So neighbors, if you know someone on either side of the argument who could come on here and have a good discussion, not be boring, not be just give scripture, be what they call sober minded, not get all in their feelings on either way, who can hear both sides and not catch feelings. Hit us up on Facebook at Turn to Your Neighbor, facebook.com/TTY Neighbor. And
I promise to protect you.
Yeah, it'll be a good day. I mean, at the end of the day, if it gets out of pocket, I just kick people off the screen.
There we go. And Dr. He's done it before.
Already. Yeah.
No, I will be on my absolute best behavior. I am very interested in having this conversation. I think we have to put pressure on ideas by having conversations with people who think wrong. So, I mean, opposite from how we think. So.
Yep. Right. Somebody said we setting people up to get fired up in the neighborhood. 100%. That's 100%.
What we do. It's what we do.
It's what we do. It's 100%.
Get fired. I mean, there are denominations / movements that believe this. So it's not.
This
That's
is a
just
real
like,
thing.
yeah, I'm not talking about some rogue one pastor. This is like,
He said rogue.
yeah, it's not like this. There are faith movements that believe that women
Right.
should not be called elders and they should be given the title of
Yes.
elderhood. Yeah.
As long as they don't tell the rest of us that we're going to
And
hell,
women
I'm
should
good
not be
with it.
pastors, but women should not be pastors and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and there's scripture that you could point to that you would say, yeah, you got a point, but that's a whole nother show.
A short point. All right, let's
That's a whole
go.
nother show. All right, let's get to the kind of stuff we normally talk about, and we'll have the women in the pulpit show at some point. I
The
promise.
series, yes.
At some point. All right. So first thing I want to talk about. I'm not gonna lie. There are times when I'm tired of talking about this brother, but he keeps coming up in the news.
Okay.
Because he just does. All right. So Kanye West is facing lawsuits based on Sunday service, and he had some kind of opera called Nebuchadnezzar that I didn't know. This was 2019. But he is facing lawsuits because so a bunch of former employees from Sunday Service and the Nebuchadnezzar Opera, over 500 performers and 300 staff said basically he was late with payments or didn't get no payments at all. Employees and staff were paid late or little, less than they were supposed to get paid. People were not given time to rest or eat meals. So these people have kind of come together and lawyered up. Some people were just given like $250 for the day. Some people, there was one hairstylist was given $250 for rehearsal and $350 for the performance, and she was paid late. So it's a whole mess out here for Brother West. You guys got any thoughts on Kanye West out here getting sued for not paying people for Sunday service? Apparently, Sunday service cost him $50 million. The whole Sunday service movement, he spent $50 million on that.
Dr. T, you want to go first or?
You go first.
Yo, first of all, you should not be surprised. Who was Kanye buddied up with? Your boy El Trumpito. If you no, seriously.
Okay, I'm waiting for this parallel. Come on.
If you look at Trump's history, he has a history of getting people to do work and then not fully paying them for it, having them take him to court, and then he just outlasts them in court.
So you say you're not saying he picked that up from Trump? Is that what you say?
What else is he picking up? It is a mindset. You're going to be hanging around like-minded people.
Hello.
Okay.
And so I am truly not surprised by any of this. And just because you rich, the way you stay rich is by not giving other people their money. Like, you don't give your money away. And everybody kept saying, well, he's paying for this himself, or he's not paying for it himself. And he's not paying nobody. Now, I have some questions. I'm not going to hold him 100% accountable because there is an element of business into this. After show like 2, when do you say, hey, when do those checks come in? And then do you keep showing up? By the way, I ain't even got as much as a chicken plate yet. When am I going to get this cut?
Yeah.
And do you just keep showing up because it's a look? Like business, in business be men. Like it's a business element to this. Handle your business appropriately. At the same time, Kanye's a jerk. He should have paid people. But I'm not surprised by this at all.
I'm not either. I think this is, so to your point, and we could have a whole conversation, but we won't because that's not what the show is about exploitation and, how people get rich and capitalism and all that. But I completely agree with you. I'm not surprised. I would not have thought that I would be getting paid for this if I signed up for it, unless I was one of the people at the top, if I had a certain kind of title. Also, it's gospel. And I'll just be very real with you. As someone who's done some speaking that I have gotten paid for, and most of this speaking has been with nonprofit organizations, most of them not faith-based. When it came to faith-based, when I said what my rate was,
yeah,
it was like, oh, we don't have anything that like we don't have a budget that even begins to match that. And so, because I had already decided that I was going to do it, I still showed up and gave my best work to this organization. But I think that a lot of times churches or things that are done that are faith-based things, they don't want to give you the coin. It's like Jesus paid it all. Yeah, boo. But he ain't pay my electric bill. So I can't say Jesus paid it all when West Penn Power comes calling. They want their money. Okay.
And then when you ask about the money and you say, yo, I need to pay these bills, they're going to start talking about your faith. You don't have the right level of faith. Or your vision, man. You don't have the vision for what this thing is, or how we're going to sow back into the. There are so many abusive ways, and this is why many legitimate businesses. I'm not going to get it.
Go there.
This is why many legitimate businesses don't mess with church folks. Like we have had. No, I'm not going to say it. But yes, because that got real personal. This is why many legitimate businesses don't mess with churches, are hesitant to mess with churches. They want money up front, or they want this contract signed, or they're like, okay, exactly what are y'all paying for? It's a real thing. If you can go back up to Kristen's comment, Kristen says something that's really real.
She said he forgot to hire HR staff / trustees, just like some of y'all churches.
Just like some of y'all churches. We can't be like people get real. Some people, old school, not new school, because you're seeing a difference. You're seeing some things change, but people get real touchy when you start implementing business related practices inside the church. And they say we don't do that here, or that's not how we work here. But when really it's just organization.
Yeah,
that's how yelling. The world works.
Okay.
And, we have to be in the world, not of the world. But, it's so funny how people will like pull out biblical principles. Yep. You know how far we live from how people like the average community of believers lived, in the New Testament. We have a lot of ways that are different from how they live. Mm-hmm. So you can't just like pluck out scriptures and be like, we'll see. I think that this is a conversation that needs to be had.
Yep.
People need to be responsible and accountable, and people need to make responsible decisions. My whole thing is before I would let somebody underpay me, I just say, you know what, this is going to be a complimentary service. But I always say if it's to the point where I have a contract, this is what it would have cost.
Mm-hmm.
This is complimentary, because sometimes if you get bigger, right? If I'm coming in when you on the front end and you don't have the coins, when you grow as an organization or as a business or whatever, and then you get bigger, know that this is what I would have charged you. So then you should invite me back and you should pay me my rate. And I think it's fine to have like a church rate or a gospel rate and then a for-profit rate, if that's how you want to do it. I have done that as well. But either way, pay people. It is not carnal minded.
Right.
If you are about your contracts and your P's and Q's and your coins.
Terry said, Bill Jesus, not me.
Hello.
I think it's different because the expectation is different when you're talking about Kanye West versus, XYZ Church of God in Christ or XYZ Baptist or whatever, because Kanye West is a multi-million-dollar entity. So you expect that this person who has multi-million dollars, who's flying you on planes across the country, can pay you your $250 or whatever it is that they said they was going to pay you. So it's tough.
Sign that paper, brother. Yeah, sisters, sign that paper.
All right. So the next thing I want to talk to y'all about is Steve Harvey. Most people, I would probably say, if I asked you what do you believe Steve Harvey's beliefs are as far as faith, I think most people would probably say he's a Christian. based on the kind of talk you hear him say lately. I know there was a time in his earlier stand-up days where he would get up there and cuss everything. He's like, I ain't a Christian. But I think since then he's had a transition. But he has some interesting things to say about the way to get to heaven.
Okay.
And it's probably gonna rub some of y'all the wrong way. So I want you to check out Steve Harvey's comments.
See, oftentimes people who are religious think their religion is right and everybody else is wrong. There is only one way to God. But Steve's faith is unique because it's really not about that.
There's no one way to heaven, no one way to paradise. It's like television. Now it's over 800 channels of cable, and they're all pretty entertaining. So I'm pretty sure, man, that to get to heaven, there's got to be more than one route. Because somebody watching another channel or taking another channel than you, they still getting entertained, and they probably still getting to heaven.
See, oftentimes people who...
So as you can see, so basically what happened, Steve was on a trip to the Middle East, and they shot video and everything, and this was just one of the things that he talked about in the video, where Steve believes that there are multiple ways to get to heaven. I have no problem with the person that believes that. It's just that if you believe that, you're just not a Christian. That's all. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You can be a person of faith.
That's right.
You can be something else. You can, but you're not a Christian because Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. What do y'all think?
This is what I think.
Hit him, Dr. T.
Some people should just never make money. Because
Exactly.
Jesus was just fine for Steve Harvey when he was on his third baby mama, struggling, trying to pay his bills and take care of all his kids on his radio show and whatever. Then once you blow up, now you become enlightened and your beliefs transcend the layman's, the poor man's Christianity. Come on, Steve. I don't know what he's doing in this get up. I am unimpressed.
He's in that country, so he's dressed as they dressed in that country.
But he doesn't have to dress like that just because he's in that. Look at this guy.
But say not everybody there is dressed.
Though.
Not everybody there is dressed like that. It's an interesting thing. I like the way you broke it down, Cliff. I like the way you broke it. You can think of yourself as religious, quote unquote,
you can be a person of faith.
A person of faith, but he's not a Christian.
Yeah.
And so that is where that stands. Real quick, shout out to my people on YouTube. I haven't seen this name before.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. I Win 55. Yeah,
I Win 55. I came over to join you on the YouTube side of things. I'm trying to comment everywhere. Okay,
that brother has commented on previous videos. So Mr. Win 55 has been with us for a while.
Okay, shout out to being live today. I see you. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I guess that's the way he wants to go. That is entirely up to him.
Yeah.
And why is he comparing the afterlife to cable TV?
that was going to be a whole
made so much sense.
He was trying to make an analogy that he thinks people would understand. Right. I mean, sometimes
he ain't deep.
Let me ask you this, and I've wondered this honestly and earnestly. He sells a lot of books with his thoughts and ideas. What did Steve Harvey do, accomplish, and or study that made him some type of advice guru? He told jokes. He has some television shows. I just don't understand how we got to this point. And I'm not trying to be a hater. I just literally don't understand.
No, I mean, literally, when you're famous, you just have to write it down because you already have a following.
And he doesn't even do that. Deneen Milner is the actual author.
So dude's been.
He's the author of the ideas, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not the first person to ever say this, but he's been divorced a bunch of times. But then he's writing relationship books. I mean,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, people, and Derek James pointed out somewhere. He said Oprah has the same stance too. And hear me out here. Unfortunately, in our country, God is people like Steve or Oprah, they have a lot of people who are following them from different backgrounds, different walks of life, different faiths. A lot of people buying their stuff, watching their shows, all this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, God is more profitable than Jesus. Because if you say Jesus, you turn people off. If you say God, a lot of people can latch on to God because a lot of other faiths have a being that they look to that they call God. Only one faith has someone we look to and we call Jesus. So, that's one of the things. That's why he's saying God and all this other stuff. But you're not a Christian if you don't believe Jesus is the way.
That's right.
Yo, first of all, I'm taking back my kudos to Mr. I Win 55. It's just Mac.
That's Mac, really?
Man, Mac didn't switched up on us. He said it got too crowded in the neighborhood. He moved out to the suburbs of YouTube. He got too crowded in the neighborhood on Facebook.
That is funny.
That
My
is
brother moved out to the neighborhood. He's like, it's just Mac. It's just me. I'm like, boo. Anyway, shout out to Leonard Hux as well. I haven't seen Leonard in here. Shout out to Leonard as well. Can I ask a question? And this is going to totally hijack this whole conversation.
Go ahead.
Can we address his mustache?
Why?
I have a question, and this is a question for the ladies. Lady, does that annoy you, ladies? Like, because I'm very particular about my facial hair because I don't want it to get too big so as to be ticklish or anything else or scratchy or anything. Got moisturized. Like, I'm sure he's moisturized on that mustache, but I don't get it. I don't get it as a look, and I wonder how it could affect your relational time with whomever, with your significant other. That's all I'm saying.
As long as his wife is cool with it, I think.
Right. To each their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe she forbids him from shaving it. I mean, I don't know, but it's not my thing, but to each their own.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Okay. I appreciate the honesty. Mac, they're asking you to come back to the Facebook, by the way.
They said he was evicted.
Mac ain't pay his bills in the neighborhood. He had to get out.
Facebook might have kicked
Gotta pay your taxes,
out-of-pocket
Mac.
comments. Them out-of-pocket takes Mac makes on Facebook.
Somebody reported.
Mac makes like these crazy takes on Facebook. Stuff like Boyz II Men is not good. Not that specifically, but that kind of stuff.
Yo, he does come with some slanderous takes
random thing that most people say is outstanding, and Mac will say is trash. And then it's like, okay.
The stash is ironic. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, is that a typo for iconic? But probably.
I was like, if it's iconic. Plus, he has a heavy lip. Like his lips start up here. So maybe he just want to cut some of that down.
Exactly.
Okay, I can understand. As a heavy-lipped individual, I understand.
Part of his brand now.
Yeah. It probably smells in there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In honor, y'all crazy. Iconic. You put iconic. See, yes, he meant ironic typo. Iconic. All right. So in honor of Black History Month, right?
Okay.
I thought it would be cool. Neighbors, we got together. We thought it'd be cool every week. We'll probably get in 3 or 4 shows this month. And so every week we come on and we talk about some of the Black people that made contributions to the church, so to the history of the church.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll go first. I want to introduce you guys and the neighbors to Reverend Willie Robinson. So Reverend Willie Robinson was the first person to put their finger up in the air when they were leaving service.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way, from what I understand, the way the story goes is Reverend Robinson, he had women on the side, ladies on the side.
Okay.
And so when Reverend Robinson wanted to meet his woman outside the church, during service, because he
just to check in.
Yeah, so he knows his wife is in the building, right? So that's the perfect time to creep because where your wife is, so you can do your creeping out. So Reverend Robinson would leave the pulpit, put his finger up. That's how he signaled his woman.
Wow.
Okay.
That's how he signaled his woman, and then she met him. Then she met him out, and they did their thing. So, it happened on a shaky premise, but props to Reverend Robinson for now. I mean, somehow I guess what I'm assuming is Reverend Robinson probably passed that on to his other friends.
Okay.
Yo, brother, this is what I do. And so then other preachers caught on. You know, the preachers talk. Other preachers caught on, and then it became a thing. So now Reverend Willie Robinson, because of him, we got the little finger. You know, you act like you think you're invisible, nobody can see you. Reverend Robinson was signaling his woman, although we all now just use it to excuse ourselves from.
Yes.
I understand the proliferation. I see how that really spread.
This man is a black church hero.
We salute you, Reverend Willie. Actually, Cliff, this makes so much more sense than the way the finger is currently used. It makes so much more sense.
That's true.
So thank you for telling us the true story. All facts here. All facts.
Under its current usage, what does the finger represent?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, yeah.
Yeah, but like I understand that, but why the finger?
Because
He just told you.
of Reverend Willie's contribution.
I'm just saying well, I
mean, people it just got adopted. Like, excuse me, I'm tipping out. Like,
It just passed down.
you
People
just wanna
adapted it.
let people know. You want to let people know you got to get up, but you're not super rude. So
over time.
Exactly.
Okay, I see.
You know how stuff gets watered down.
Over
But
time.
this is the what we are getting is the origin story, and I
Origin.
appreciate that.
exactly, it evolves over time. You know.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
Which one of y'all want to go next?
Do you want to go, Dr. T? Or?
Go ahead.
I'd like to give a shout out on today. I want to honor Mother Velma Brown. Now, Mother Velma Brown on Sunday, June 7th, 1953, at Old Mount Mule Baptist. She was the first mother ever. It was a hot Sunday in Sumter, Alabama. And she was the first mother ever to hand out a lap scarf inside the church. It was a hot Sunday. Maybe the individual that day, Mother Brown, decided that skirt was a little too short to be on that row. And to keep holiness holy, she came, you killing me. She came forth with that lap scarf. Now, at first, it was just a shawl. Okay, it was just something that Mother Brown happened to have with her. Now, over time, as it happens, it has developed into its own industry.
Yes.
Of lap scarves and various blankets of various sizes. Because we want to be body inclusive inside the lap scarf.
Oh, yes.
And so it's become an industry now. Some are made of cotton, some are made of silk. It can be breathable type of a summer type of atmosphere, depending on where you're at. And so, but we want to give all honor to Mother Brown and for the work that she did on this day to keep holiness holy and not distract anyone that may be in the pulpit.
Keeping marriages alive, one lap scarf at a time.
Looking at the ladies and looking up the dresses and the sisters in the front row.
That's right. She has held together many a revival that would have gone wayward.
Otherwise, we salute you, Mother.
Yes, we do. We salute you, Mother Velma.
Dr. T.
Okay, I think this is our final salute for the night. I would like to introduce you all to the good mother, Myrtle Evans. This mother was the woman who invented hard candy. But it was out of her disdain for children, not her appreciation of them, that led her to invent this nondescript, no brand hard candy that mothers have since been carrying in their purses for years and years and years. Miraculously, this hard candy that Myrtle Evans invented never gets old. In fact, the longer it stays closer to the bottom of the handbag, the better it gets, because you see the intention behind the hard candy is not to satisfy a child's sweet tooth. It is to shut them up, because the Myrtle Evans happened to be leading Sunday school one day in April 1948 because Sister Bonnie Ann, who normally was in charge of Sunday school, couldn't make it to church that Sunday because her gout was acting up. So Sister Myrtle was forced at the last minute. It was a Saturday night. Word gets to her that she's going to have to step in. Now, she couldn't stand kids. And so she tried to devise a way to ensure that the kids would shut up for the entirety of the service, and she actually wouldn't have to engage with them at all. And there you have it. Hard candy. It has been keeping mouths shut and occasionally almost choking children for many decades since. Thank you, Mother Myrtle.
Thank you, Mother Myrtle. There's so much we could take away from that lesson. And the real point I want to touch upon, and this is true, why do people sign up for ministries they really don't enjoy? They do it all the time. I have known more than one person in my life who did not enjoy children, yet in some way were associated with the children's ministry.
Sometimes you see a need and it's on your heart just to fill it, even though you don't, you love to serve the Lord. So you just go when you do it.
And Mother Myrtle, that's what happened to her. She didn't sign up for it. She just had to step in because the other person was unavailable. So
she had that gout.
Yeah.
And Mother Myrtle has saved tons of us from bad breath because, a lot of us got ushers in our church that don't do the gum. Like, you can't have gum.
That's right.
They will take it. So because of Mother Myrtle, we can have hard candy. Name brand hard candy.
Name brand. At what age did you become good at unwrapping the candy without rattling too much? Because there's a technique and a skill.
That's a skill. That is a skill.
Or you just do it when the music is on.
I would
timing.
I would go with a cough.
Or when the preacher gets to his hoop.
Yeah, I would go with a cough as well. I'd hit that every now and then. But every now and then you ran into a sticky piece of candy that had really spent some time in the bottom of that bag, and it was going to be a tough one.
That was that reserve level hard candy. I mean, that which had been aged for many a hot Sunday morning. It was hard to get your hands on that level of reserve hard candy.
If you ever had a piece of candy that been in the bag so long it had taken on the taste of the bag, like the purse that was in, like it tasted either like the perfume or the foundation or whatever that was in the bag.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This candy isn't tasty. It doesn't taste good.
No.
This is a genius invention. It's really a sham. It's a genius invention, but you can't help but to try it because you're hoping that the one you get this Sunday just might satisfy your sweet tooth.
Yeah, I don't know about the not the butterscotch. Only God knows what's in the strawberry one. But the peppermint is like the goat.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah, that's different.
Let me tell you this. You were down to your last piece of candy before I ate that strawberry.
Yes.
Like, y'all, I like strawberry things, but that strawberry candy, suspect is all get back.
The strawberry was the one with like the gel inside, right?
Yes.
And when it broke, if you weren't careful, you would cut your mouth, your tongue. You would cut your tongue on it because when it broke, like the gel would like eke out, but you would still have that slit. You could cut your tongue on that. That wasn't right.
Cliff, you might have been a husky boy. That's the level of breakdown you just gave me right there.
Oh, and this is finally a show my mother is watching. Tell you, I was husky. She had to show husky.
Mother Bernice Holmes, I need you to come before the congregation real quick. Your son has been claiming for weeks now that at one point in time in life, he was a husky boy. I don't believe him because I've never seen it in all the years I've known him. Well over a decade before your children was born even. And so I just want to know, Mother Holmes, if you can put it in the comments, was Cliff ever a husky boy? Because I don't trust him.
What cred do I get making this up?
I don't know. You just want to be down to big boy clique. It's all right. But you know what I'm saying? It's okay. The strawberry one was not good, people. No, it was not good at all.
It was awful.
Okay.
You wouldn't have known it was strawberry if it didn't have that fake strawberry wrapper.
I need something from each of you right now.
Look at that.
Yes,
he
was.
He was husky.
I love the fact that your mom said yes, he was a husky boy. We had some problems in a couple of years. Let me get this rundown real quick. Dr. T and Cliff the EP. Of the candies represented on the screen right now, Give me a 5-to-1 ranking. 5 being the worst, number 1 being the best. Because there's a peppermint, there's a butterscotch, or there's 2 peppermints. So, okay, we'll go ring peppermint, red and white peppermint, butterscotch, cinnamon, and strawberry.
Is that what that is in the far right? You think that's cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon. It's definitely cinnamon.
Next to the peppermint?
Yeah, cinnamon. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see your big boy cards revolt. Big boys know that's cinnamon. See, I knew you wasn't no
Black
big
and
boy.
white.
I knew you don't need to see the colors to know if you a big boy. That's big boy life right there.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this and we'll move on. 1 is the best.
No, okay, yeah. Go start with number 5. Give me number 5.
So start with the worst.
5 is cinnamon. No, 5 is butterscotch. 4 is cinnamon.
What?
Yeah, butterscotch.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Butterscotch, cinnamon, the strawberry.
It's 3.
Then the peppermints is. I'm gonna go. The lifesavers is 2, and the red and white peppermint is 1. Only because the OG status, like red and white peppermint. Yeah, it's been clutched too many times.
Okay. This is that was a terrible ranking, but go ahead, Dr. T. Yours was terrible, Cliff.
I don't have any objections to that. I would probably change around. Now, I didn't eat a lot of hard candy because, one of the first times I had hard candy, I actually did choke. So I'm scarred. But I wouldn't object to this. But I've had all of them. I wouldn't object to that ranking. I would agree with that. The only thing I would really mess with are the peppermints.
This is so disappointing.
Because those were smaller, so harder to choke on.
Let's lay this out very clearly.
Okay,
strawberry, number 5, easily. Cinnamon, number 4. Butterscotch, number 3. Now, I know that it comes down to your peppermints. There's nothing better if you're going to have a name brand lifesaver. So I got to go red and white, number 2. Then the actual lifesaver, number 1. Now, let me touch upon this. Unless the red and white came from Pizza Hut. I don't know how many of y'all remember back in the day when Pizza Hut used to have the branded Pizza Hut peppermints from the restaurant. This is Big Boy Sounds once again. Those were some quality peppermints. Maybe it's if after a piece of sausage, you just had the peppermint. It's just different. It hit different. That's all.
But the red white peppermint is so clutch because look how far it's come without the backing of big business. Look how far the red and white is come. It doesn't have lifesavers marketing budget.
Well,
white is so clutch.
It's an open opportunity candy. Okay. It is for all, whether you shop at the dollar store for the candy, whether you go get the hookup from Mother Myrtle herself, or whether you shop at Target, like you can rock with the red and white peppermint.
We got a lot of rankings. We have a lot of rankings going on in the neighborhood.
It seems very similar. Oh, whoa, except for one who put butterscotch number 1.
Okay, they said butterscotch is 1.
I
think everybody agrees that at least one of the mints is in the top 2, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I get really quickly? I'm going to regret this. Can I get max rankings? Because I need to know what this was against.
Come on, this is random.
These are all church-related food items.
Chicken church.
These are all church.
And he just made up on top of his head.
This has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Right. Exactly.
Here you go. You and Mac on your own tangent.
At some point in time, we're going to have a whole show about how church punch gave generations of people diabetes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes.
At some point in time, we're going to talk about the generations of people that got the sugars from church punch. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to back out. We good.
That was so sugary and bread, it would stain your skin.
Yup.
Okay.
Yup.
You would have that, like you have a milk mustache, you would have that punch.
And you knew it was a good day, and the church had got a good couple of offerings that they had put that ginger ale in it or that 7-Up. Let it get a little fizz on that.
Yeah.
Let it get a little fizz on that.
Put some fizz on that, Sean. Yeah.
And did you? Okay, never mind. I was about to get real fat. Had you ever had sherbet in yours? If you wanted to make it
I've
more of a
seen them put
dessert
the
punch?
sherbet in there. Yeah.
I didn't have it. That is sugar
for
on
what reason?
sugar on sugar.
Like nobody
Ooh.
ever does that in their normal everyday life around the house.
The sherbet,
Nobody-
and if you had a fruit slice and you stuck around to the end to catch one of the fruit slices that had soaking up all the sugar.
Nobody ever is like walk around the house. Let me get something to drink. Oh, let me put some sherbet in this juice and walk around. No, but when you with the church people,
it's good. That means we living high. That was for revivals only. That's when the out of town ministers came in. We had to show off. That cost extra money.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna move on. Shout out to Reverend Willie and Myrtle and
Mother Velma Brown.
Mother Velma for all your contributions.
Y'all can look it up on Google. It's there.
Yeah, or not.
Somebody had to explain. Never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Google it.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. I want y'all to take a look at this brother. You know, you can't let everybody testify at church, and this brother is another example of why.
Oh boy.
I used to be very hoish. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I used to be very hoish. I used to be very hoish.
Oh, I got stuck.
Yeah, got stuck. Hold on, let me.
First of all, here's what I appreciate. He let in with the good stuff off the top. He like, let me just get right to what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to do. I used to be very hoish, and I don't necessarily believe in some of the consternation expressed by some of the people in the audience. Some of y'all were right there with him.
Some of y'all enabled them.
Yeah, some of y'all were enablers.
Some were participants.
Exactly. In more ways than one. So let's not act like y'all ain't know brother such and such.
You can't do that by yourself.
He was out here slinging. Y'all knew it.
Where got that from?
Y'all absolutely knew it. Oh, can I get Terry on? I know you're in the middle of something. I need Terry on the screen because that's hilarious. If we got blackish and we got mixedish, what's that? What's the Terry Watson? Did you see his comment?
There we go.
Yep. I'm just saying that may be more of an HBO venture. That's not necessarily for ABC for prime time right there. And see if we can get this to work. See where this brother gonna go after that.
Here's the let's see if we can go back to it. I used to be this brother. Okay. Wait. Let me do one more thing.
Mac, touch your neighbor and say, Mac is out of control. Mac, it's time for you to go back to YouTube. I should have never invited you back over. that was
and
my
there
fault.
he is. And there he is.
Yep, that was my fault.
See, y'all talk them up. Okay.
You know what? That's what's gonna happen from now on. People that are out of pocket get banished to YouTube for 2 shows.
Hey, what about that?
Oh yeah.
Not to say that YouTube is the
YouTube
punishment
YouTube
zone.
is not the banishment zone. All right, check out my man. Check out my man.
I used to be very hoish. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes you know, I believe in God 100%.
Okay.
And sometimes you ask God for things, He'll take it away. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, my man, I have love a woman. Ain't he a deliverer? Somebody clap that he's a deliverer right now. I was very, very, very hoarse when I first come to Lord. Your deliverance. Amen. I'm glad to be halfway saved. You know, I'm not going to say 100%. And all of us need to stop lying that we full Christians because we're not. You never. I used to be very.
Yeah, so this is why you if you officiate in the service, you don't hand over the mic, you hold it and you let it talk.
There's a couple rules here. There's a couple rules that we ran into here. First of all, if you're gonna have a testimony service where that brother had to come all the way up, you need to get kind of a preview what's gonna go down, what direction he's gonna go in.
That wasn't a service. Clearly, this is not testimony service.
It's something because there were people in the audience and pastor was right there.
No, I think it's not testimony service. I think it's the normal service, and the brother, they just gave the brother mic because he maybe delivered or something.
Yeah.
And let's talk about this brother here. The brother in the black knew from the beginning there was going to be a problem. he was looking at pastor or whoever in the pulpit immediately. He's like, I used to be very hoish. Brothers heading the black, look at the pastor. Can I shut him down? Can I shut him down? Just let me know. Can I shut him
It
down?
took him a while.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. When he's on that top step looking bigger than he actually was. So as he descended, the size came into view. And when he tapped old boy on the shoulder, old boy kept talking like, you're really not going to take this from me. And so that's when you have to have Cut the Mic Ministries. That's what Cut the Mic.
Where is Cut the Mic Ministries when you need them?
Yep.
And there's some people, so this is gonna be real churchy and inappropriate.
Okay.
But you can tell whether or not you can trust someone with the mic often by how they are dressed.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
And,
Here we go.
he has that, and I'm just saying, there's for all of us who have been around brothers like this, our good brother in blue, and who have been hit on by brothers looking like this. He has that old sort of, I'm really past my prime and shouldn't be doing this. Right. But I'm about to call you sweet thing and see how far I can take this kind of vibe going. That's what that outfit says to me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's got that, very sharp tuck.
Yeah.
That's, don't really have the belly for it anymore. But, so he's straddling, he's trying to be saved. But he's not ready to lay down.
He's ready to lay down. He is ready to lay down. That's what he said. He's ready to lay down.
That's all I'm saying. You can tell, and then you just can't give everybody the mic. But they definitely should have cut the mic. But I'm just saying, it may not be right. It may not be politically correct.
I can't disagree with her, but for me, it's more the cut of his leather jacket. It's like if your leather jacket looks like a leather suit jacket, like a leather blazer, like, yeah, player, you about to get into some stuff.
Yeah, you can tell. Yes,
yeah,
he's going to only people from Detroit would know this. He's going to Baker's Lounge after this, which is like this jazz place, which just basically is Magic City if you under a certain age. Like they sell fried chicken. If you're over a certain age, they sell fried chicken and it's like a jazz lounge, but it's the same stuff that goes on there that goes on at your favorite club.
Y'all missed the biggest tell.
Huh?
The belt buckle.
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
The player's belt buckle.
And it is the prominence with which he is displaying it.
Yeah, see that tuck. And the shade of blue mixed with it all. Yeah, come on. They should have known. And see, there is a pride and enthusiasm with which he said hoish. And that tells us, this isn't going anywhere good.
Nope. And he never, if you noticed, he never said that he was past it. Some of y'all need to quit acting like you all the way Christians. Some of y'all ain't. You halfway Christian.
Edgeless says he called the usher.
Yes,
baby
he
girl.
did.
Oh,
he is that type of guy.
Yo, can I get Chris on the screen real quick? Chris, coming in from YouTube.
Chris says his jacket was designed by Entanglement.
Yes, his jacket was definitely designed by Entanglement.
Okay.
Because he has been in some entanglements. Amen. Amen. Yo, the neighbors were all funny tonight. Kristen saying he smells like Dollar Tree cologne in Irish Spring.
Yeah.
Max says he smells like Brute and bologna sandwiches. And then I got one more from Donna. He gives me old Q that comes up for the homecoming weekend for the young honeys. Those type of vibes. Oh, you ain't want to talk about that, Tanika? No, you know a couple of those. Hey, okay. Just because you know a couple of those, bros. Yeah, because I saw your face. You got real quiet. That Coleman Love got real quiet all of a sudden. Okay.
Come here, gal.
Been there, did not do that. Okay. But I have been in the number.
Brother, do you have a rant for the people, man?
I don't have a rant for the people on tonight. I don't. I'm done with this snow though. I know. I just want to put that out there. I'm done. I'm done shoveling. Whatever else happens is gonna happen. Like it was after this morning, I was feeling good. Actually, I do want to say this. I want to say this. This morning, I was feeling good. I got my workout in this morning. I went outside because my mind was fixed. I needed to be at work by a specific time For some reason, they wasn't letting us to my job before 9 a.m. this morning. That's okay. Because they said they didn't want us there. That's fine. And so I went out and I had my headphones on. And let me tell you this. There is no thing in the world that is not improved with a little bit of Beyonce in your playlist. Because Beyonce got me moving this morning. And she got me through that morning shovel to a whole nother level. And I know Beyonce is Queen Bee right now, but if you Queen Bee, but if you really wanted to look at it and listen to some of her, the material she was giving you, some of her early music, Beyonce was letting you know early on she was a freak. I know we don't talk about that now because she got 3 kids and she very grown. But if you go back and listen to Get Me Body and some just because it's upbeat, don't mean it wasn't freaky, baby. Go ahead and listen to some of them cuts.
Who don't talk about that?
Oh, we don't talk. People like to act like her career did not exist before Lemonade. Like she all she's is mother vibes now, and she's grown, she's mature, she's enlightened. But hey, Queen Big, she used to get sit in, and she gonna let you know early on. So we shouldn't have been surprised when she said "We Be All Night" because she had told us several songs and several albums before that. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm gonna say. But a little Beyonce in your playlist gonna help you get anything done quicker. Don't hate on her. That's all I'm gonna say. I had a good shoveling session this morning. I'm done.
You should probably invest in the snowblower.
I have a snowblower, but I was feeling good, and my adrenaline was still running. The endorphins that kicked in after the bike ride this morning. Got a solid about 9 miles in. I said, "Yo, let me go kill this real quick," and boom, I was out there shoveling, getting it done. I got it done though. I got it done. Plus, I wasn't trying to wake people up. It was early in the morning. I woke them up yesterday with the snowblower. My wife didn't say she wasn't happy with me, but she didn't look real happy when I walked back inside at 7:30, having run the snowblower for about 45 minutes. But yeah.
I run it when I run it. If you don't like it, you come out here and shovel.
Beyonce can retire and we would never miss. Mac is on crack.
See, this is the kind of out-of-pocket stuff
Mac just says stuff.
This is the kind of out-of-pocket stuff.
See,
we can't respond to this.
This is the kind of stuff we thought Mac got kicked off Facebook.
Mac,
really under the influence.
Mac, you're going to start watching the show from Google Meets. That's where you're going to watch it from. From now on,
you're going to have to, no, he's going to have to call another neighbor and have them just hold the phone up to their computer.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have to do the bootleg because that's just unacceptable. Just unacceptable.
People try to gas me up. I do want to talk about something now that Fritz put it out there. Can we get Fritz's comment on the screen? Dre, he says, Dre, I'm shocked that you didn't rant about people who can't drive in the snow, shovel properly, etc. First of all, I'm not going to rant about people who can't drive in the snow because I had a scary incident. My car is heavy. It's heavy. And I had hit the brakes a good 30 feet, actually more than that. And that's them suckers just slid. Like I stayed calm, and luckily God brought me through that intersection. But yeah, I just slid. It was going downhill. I should have allowed more space. Let me say this though: if you want these sons of guns who's driving around with 10 inches of snow on top of their car, and the junkies, you go down the street, it's blowing off of your car onto mine. I'm gonna smack you in the street one day if I get a hold of you. I'm gonna smack fire into you. Y'all people get on my nerves. It's illegal, and it's dangerous as all.
It is dangerous. Yeah.
Heck. Dangerous as all heck. I'm going to smack fire to one of y'all. Y'all lazy so-and-sos. I don't care what your height is. They have extendos. You can extend a little thing on and wipe it off. Don't be lazy. I'm telling you, if y'all cause me an accident, y'all going to see me go to jail that day. Like, why did Trey smack that person in the middle of the street? Because he caused him the accident because they had the snow on top of this car. That's my rant for the day. I was fine. I was doing good until Fitz reminded me that I need to be upset about something. Dr. T, I relinquish the floor to you. I apologize.
I'm with you. I'm done with the snow. I have not been driving in the snow. I have developed this thing where I just don't like. I have lived in Minnesota and Syracuse, two of the snowiest places on the planet. And I'm just sort of done with it. So when it gets like this, I look at Chris and it's like, I'm not driving anywhere, right? You were officially my chauffeur. Thanks so much. Love you. But my take this week is not as fully formed because, I had to hook up my thing on Sister Myrtle. But This is it. I don't know if the neighbors watch this show on Lifetime called Married at First Sight. I was a latecomer to the show, but I have been watching it for a few years now. And on this season, there is a young whippersnapper on there who thinks he is God's gift to mankind. And what's interesting about him is that he professes himself to be this Christian. He in fact said,
Black guy.
Yeah, black guy. His name is Chris, actually.
Chris, yep.
And the season, each season, the premise of the show, each season they're set in a different city. This season they're set in Atlanta. And this is pre-recorded, so we're watching something that, you know, has already happened. But what happens is these couples are matched up by experts, and these experts look at all these things and match people up, and they actually are married without knowing the other person. So it is indeed married at first sight. It's a real marriage. It's legally binding. If you want to get out of it, you have to get a divorce or annulment, the whole thing. But what is particularly disturbing to me about this gentleman, he really isn't a gentleman, is the explicit nature of the demands he made on his wife before meeting her. He said he wanted somebody that was submissive and that was a freak. And it was very important that this person meet his idea of attractive. He did not mince any words when, after marrying his wife, he decided that, yeah, she had a nice butt, and that he presumed that he might enjoy sex with her, but that she otherwise wasn't what he's used to. And she really wasn't like a pretty girl.
You could tell he wasn't feeling her from the minute he saw her.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell my wife, I was like, he doesn't like the way she looks. You could tell in his face.
And here's my issue. Leave God's name out of your sexist mess.
Mm-hmm.
It is not okay to just blatantly profess what are incredibly problematic and exploitative demands that reduce a wife who is so much more than what he talks about. He reduces a wife to a sex object. That's basically what he's interested in. And when he sees that he's not getting what meets his mind of the sort of the ideal sex object, then he loses interest immediately in the relationship, but makes it clear that he's still interested in the sex part.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's clear that he doesn't want to fully engage her as a husband. What was the most troubling about this particular guy is that his dad expresses to the woman who he's just married at first sight, you know, my son, intimacy is really important to him. He's a very hard worker. And, you know, when he gets home, he wants to enjoy intimacy. That's not the role of a father-in-law in his son and daughter-in-law's bed. That is, you can be anywhere but there, almost. So I just want to say, leave God out of your mess. And that's not okay. You know, you can talk about what's important to you, what your values are. But when you just have a list of demands, it's petty. It makes you look insecure and incredibly inadequate. And it's unattractive.
Everything about him says insecurities. Complete insecurity. Everything. And as much as he talks about his money, he literally better be a millionaire.
He got $5.
I know. I started making more money. And see, I'm ashamed to admit that I even watched that show because my wife started watching it and I was watching it with her and I had to pull back because I hate the premise of the show. But yeah, that brother.
That's all. That's my take. It's a lot of guys out there who aren't saying it on TV because they don't have the platform, but they're saying similar things. Not okay. Don't run up to some woman with your list of exploitative demands. She is not an object or a receptacle or your servant or a sex slave. Women, wives are there to do more than fulfill your demands and fantasies. We offer so much more, and we demand so much more.
Talk to him, sis.
There you go.
That's all. That's my take.
Do
Dr.
better.
T's take of the day.
Do better. All right.
I got nothing. I have no extra. Y'all looking at me for extra rant. I got nothing.
No, usually you got
So good. I needed this show today,
got an
guys.
addendum rant. I want to thank all the neighbors for hanging with us tonight. We do this show every Tuesday right here on Facebook or YouTube. So you could feel free to join us live. We love it when neighbors hang out with us live and have a good time with us. If you can't watch live, that's okay. There's tons of ways you can watch the show on demand. If you go to turntoyourneighbor.com, you can watch on YouTube. You can watch, listen to the Turn to Your Neighbor podcast. Check out Business Bully TV. .tv. A lot of different ways to watch the show. We appreciate those of you. We appreciate those of you who watch on demand and still comment.
Yeah.
Well, big props to y'all. I was gonna say big props to Mr. 55, but that's Mac. So who cares? But
There were some new neighbors in the house tonight.
yeah,
I think Roberta was new. And shout out to y'all.
Thanks to all the neighbors the new neighbors who joined us today, and the OG neighbors. We always appreciate y'all because y'all bring the show a lot of flavor. All right, so until next time, y'all, take care and be blessed. Peace.